Hi, my name is Lisa Wilson, and I'm here to present the case study for Truman Elementary School. For the category one, the problem identification analysis, the what do we know? We know Truman Elementary is the largest elementary out of the four in the district. Each grade, except for preschool, 7th, and 8th, are placed in three classes each. You have 15% of students who qualify for free and reduced lunch, and then 5% who are English second language learners. As the principal, I have been at Truman for 2 years, but am not new to the district. The reading scores lose grounds as the cohorts change from grade to grade according to the standardized test. Parents have a negative opinion regarding reading instruction. We have two supervisions that have took place to observe teacher instruction with the reading, and the school has an opportunity to apply for a grant that will help address and support reading issues. What do we need to know? There are a lot of factors in this situation that we need to know. I'll just talk about a few of them. We know that there are sufficient resources, or are there sufficient resources to assist the teachers and paraeducators in order for all students to have successful learning experience? Also, how many paraeducators are there per classroom? How many students are there per classroom? Do we have new teachers, or are they experienced educators? Does Truman Elementary meet all the criteria to request the grant for the State Department of Education? What other outside factors could be playing a role in the loss of ground as the cohorts change? What other data do we have that's available that can help us to come to a reasonable conclusion to try and find available solutions to help the reading scores? And also, have we had adequate professional development, including curriculum meetings, collaboration amongst teachers whose students are struggling with their scores? So when it comes to identifying the problem, number one is the reading focus in the classroom needs to be more broadly taught, paying attention to all skills of reading. Students are working in whole groups at a larger rate than having time to work individually with teachers. Curriculum standards are not adequately being met and need to see changes in order for students to learn to the best of their ability. And Truman Elementary is not teaching reading the way that research deems best or more effective amongst learners. So in category two, we need to talk about what is our plan of action? What am I as the principal going to do in this situation? Well, first off, I think it's important to create a team to apply for a grant opportunity because that in itself could really benefit the school district and the students. So we need to get working on that application. Also, of course, address parents' concerns regarding students' low reading scores and inadequate growth in reading. Create a plan where Truman Elementary will start experiencing continuous growth in reading as well as a whole, and create a communication network with teachers and paraeducators to increase collaboration among staff and administration and to better approach areas of concern to fix problems sooner than later. When it comes to appropriate strategies, I've outlined four of them. I'm just going to summarize these. And a lot of it kind of comes and sums up to teamwork and how we can address this issue and what strategies we can put into place. Number one is in creating the team for the grant opportunity, have a staff meeting regarding the opportunity. Ask teachers from all fields, but specifically within their reading, to be a part of this team. Parents need to hear a plan of action. Make sure that you have an organized plan. Make sure that they can be available for all the steps as you go amongst this plan of action to increase reading scores. Make available teaching methods available for home so parents can best assist their children in reading skills as well. For continuous improvement, of course, we need to ask honest questions. Who are we? Do we have qualified teachers? Are we teaching reading to the highest standards? Is our curriculum adequate? Are students receiving the best educational opportunities? And what other data can be analyzed to break down these reading scores? And more importantly, are we holding ourselves accountable as a teaching staff and as an administration? And lastly, creating a communication network takes accountability on the administration and staff. Being organized, having collaboration, etc., is an incredibly important thing. For category three, what is the best for students? We know that students need more individualized time. We know that the reading curriculum needs to be revised to a more balanced approach, and these are because of the observations that took place by both the principal and the district reading specialist. Writing skills are also vital as well. Educational opportunities should be available to all skill levels. There needs to be consistency among teachers across all grade levels. And of course there needs to be some sort of intervention group, whether it's an MTSS or something put in place that we can help identify students who are in need of assistance in certain areas and to catch those students early on. We know just from the data that was collected. We know the 15% on free and reduced, the 5% second English language learners. We know we have a grant. We know parents are concerned. Um, Observations illustrated a lack of areas of correct curriculum, differentiated instruction, delivery of instruction. Those observations were done by two different people, and reading scores on national assessments show that students progressively do worse in reading from grade to grade. And so that was the data that we had collected from this case study. When going over this case study, there was a lot of different things that I was feeling and valuing and thinking over. And sorry, I was thinking about my staff and how they were feeling regarding the consistent low scores in reading. Were they concerned? Did they feel individually upset? And were they reevaluating their own approaches to reading instruction? How has the morale been between staff and administration the past couple of years? Positive, negative? As the principal, have I been supporting them and listening to their concerns? Does the staff feel supported? Do the students feel as though they were individually being supported and given the best educational opportunities? Valuing education as a whole and how important reading skills are for students to have in order to be successful in school, but also self-sufficient in the world, that we were responsible for that, and understanding how valuable that is. Feeling as though we can do better as a school as a whole. Now is the time for change, so let's get on board and have the support to create that change. And is the school and community working together? Can we do better in that area? Some of the unresolved issues that we have. Will teachers be on board with the major shift in teaching? You know, if it's a staff that has been there for a while, they're set in the ways. Sometimes it is an incredibly difficult thing to get staff on board. So how can we address that? How can we encourage them and so forth? Will the grant opportunity go through? Will we qualify as a school? Will parents and community stakeholders be in acceptance of our improvement plan? How will students feel about the overhaul of reading instruction? Will there be consistency amongst all staff and grade levels regarding instruction and curriculum? And will our students be ready for high school? So those are some of the unresolved issues and some of the things as the principal that I have been really thinking about during this case study. Actions for continuous improvement. The first off is creating an open dialogue and mutual understanding between the school and parents and the community through meetings, welcoming of parents to learn reading instruction and methods, etc. Share the plan for continuous improvement along with all of the available data that school has that parents possibly have not seen, and discuss and share the application for the grant that will help students become successful in reading skills. How do we use the data for positive change? Data was used for application for grant for research-based reading programs. The data was used to share with parents and to illustrate our continuous improvement plan that will ignite support for creating a positive change at the school, and using the observation of teachers by both the administration and the district reading supervisor to show areas of concern and how the school can make positive changes in those areas. In terms of policies and laws and regulations, of course, following the Common Core standards and state standards regarding reading curriculum. I added this one in there, just making sure to follow the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act to make sure all classroom and special education teachers are providing services for every needed child. I know that there wasn't a lot of focus on special needs kids within this case study, but I just thought that was something important to make sure we always address and to have in there. Of course, complying with Every Student Succeeds Act to make sure we are able to qualify for the grant at Truman Elementary. Establishing an ongoing dialogue with outside decision makers is incredibly important because by establishing consistent and productive meetings, that can help really create a relationship amongst the school and community where information can be shared amongst school and community members. Utilizing ideas from those meetings could benefit the school, and encouraging educational opportunities for parents and guardians. And these meetings can be done, you know, you can make a platform maybe once a month, the third Tuesday of every month, that can help students benefit in reading curriculum outside the classroom to better prepare for higher education. So those are all of my findings from the case study. Okay, thank you very much.